model car fans, welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Ral, and this week I'm going to go over the stash ads and things that I've gotten uh, in October here. And there's somewhat of a number of them, but you can kind of, when you get towards the end of the video, you'll see a theme here. And it has a lot to do about what I'm reading and what I've been reading. And this goes along with it, as this was a present from a friend that came and visited me, and we had a good old time hanging out and everything. But he had found out it was my birthday this last month, and I'm celebrating a big one, even though I really don't advertise or do any of that. So this was his gift to me for it, which is great. I'm celebrating the 25th anniversary of my 25th birthday. So, like I said, it's kind of a big one, but this goes right up my alley. Don't have a book like this. Definitely interested in it. Plus, it's got a 71 Chevelle on the cover, just like the one we got in the garage, but mine's not an SS, but it's dressed up to look like one. But no emblems. But if you guys have seen my tour videos, you've gotten a glimpse of it. But this helps me quite a bit, as I do a lot of reference reading and things like that. And I just like history, so it's kind of interesting to go into some of this. I mean, here's an SS 427. It's not an Impala. This is a 67 SS 427. It's kind of an odd thing because it doesn't say Impala anywhere on the car. But this goes over the Super Sport options and even before the Super Sport. So I know some of this story, but I'll be really interested in reading about this, especially when it talks about the early cars and the early things that were going on, because originally it was bucket seats and didn't really pertain to the engine as much. It did and it didn't. It kind of bounced back and forth on what it was meant for. But I get a lot of my material and things from reading books like this, reading magazines, reading everything, that I can think of, or just whatever I'm researching at the moment. So this is one of them. So that's from a friend of mine, and my wife and my boy got me this one. This one's all about all the Corvettes, and this is a brand new book as well. And I don't have a book like this, but it covers a lot of the supposed to have every Corvette in here, as far as models and productions and concept cars and all of that stuff, and even some of the early turbocharged concept cars and stuff that was in there. So I'm going to really enjoy reading this. There's a ZL1. Going through this and reading this, and I love all the pictures here, and hopefully it's a pretty accurate book, but the reviews are great. But that is another one that I'll be doing and reading. But we'll move on to that. And the rest of these, a good chunk of these, are from my sponsor, Hobby Nut Models. So I'll throw that in there and say check them out, and in the video description below and everything, there's links and everything, which I'm adding to pretty much all of my videos, so watch those. But I got a chunk of them from him, as I had some store credit that I needed to use, and so I was just browsing his store and everything, and I built another one of these, although it's the Tamiya version and it's the Z-Tune. But I really like this Skyline GTR, the R34. And this one is the GTR V-Spec 2, which was the bad boy until the Z-Tune came out. But I decided he had this in there, so I went ahead and bought it. And it looks pretty good, and I really enjoyed building the other one. And even though these are curbside and everything, a lot of the Japanese kits are, they're still fun to build. And, for me, it's something different to do to kind of break up, what I do, but where my interests go and what I'm reading, which has a lot to do with, my selection here. And you're going to see that in this video. So there's one from Hobby Nut Models. Here's another one that was on his thing. And this is because I finished it, but I rented a book on Lamborghini from the library here, and I did a lot of reading, and I read that thing cover to cover, and it pretty much covered the supercars and some of the oddball things that was going on, but a lot of behind the scenes stuff at Lamborghini. Some I knew about, some I didn't, with mergers and money and things like that, and that he really didn't do race cars. But this Murcielago SV is a result of that, which you'll see there's a number of Lamborghinis, but it's because I read that book and I was interested in the models and the differences in them and some I knew about, some I didn't. So reading that book, it had a whole chapter on the Murcielagos and what the SV was and what the differences were. So picked that one up as well. Next up in there was, looking at his vintage kits. He had this one, and it's the Ferrari Dino 246 GT. And this is an Enthusiast Series one with 237 parts. I decided I was going to go ahead and go for this one. I haven't even opened it. It's still sealed and everything. And it's an older issue. I believe this thing has just been recently re-released again. But don't follow the Ferraris, or this is 2007 issue, that closely. But this one caught my eye. And I decided, hey, you know what? I order it. And that was one shipment from Hobby Nut Models, these 3 kits right here. And I still had some miscellaneous credit. And there was one that I was trying to buy on that particular one. And that's this one right here. The 427 Cobra SC. Didn't really need this kit or have to have this kit, as I've got a number of them. They're great kits. I love these. Got way too many of them. But I mainly just wanted to see if there was anything different in this one versus the other ones. Decals are definitely much different. And I'll probably do a review comparison of this one and some of the other kits I got, which is the main reason I got this one. But the first time I added it to the cart and I was going through those, somebody had purchased the last one, and it took it right out of my cart and told me it was no longer available. Somebody purchased the last one. And I was like, okay, well, it is what it is. But he got some more in stock like a week or 2 later. And I was back through just looking at what he has in his store again. And so I picked this one up. And, just mainly to check it out. And the kit itself is no different than the other ones, but the decal sheet is definitely different. So grab that one. And at that same time, now this one I've heard many times, it's a great kit. It's probably the best of the 250 GTOs, Ferraris. So I'm like, you know what? I saw it there, so I put that in my cart as well. So looking forward to building this one, as it's definitely a legendary car that I've read a lot about. But the more I've read about these, the harder the models are kind of to research, because each one is hand-built and a little bit different on each one. But still, a very iconic car. Yeah, I know it's really not much of a muscle car, but, I'm going to build it. Whether I build it on the channel or not is another story, as I, mainly keep the channel to the muscle cars and stuff. But I like building these. As a matter of fact, I got a Porsche I'm kind of playing with now. But I'll, show that when it's done. Or maybe an update here or there just to show you what I'm working on. There's that one. And then what I didn't know is he threw this one in the box. And I wasn't expecting it, so it was a surprise. So here's the Revell of Germany 66 Shelby GT350R, which all the race cars were actually 65s. Which this is. The scoops are in there for the 66. I don't know about this specific car. I've seen pictures of it, so it'll be interesting to read about it, find out more about this particular car, and maybe there's a reason Revell of Germany chose this car. Don't know what the story is, but that's why I like to research some of these, find out the chassis number and research it. But for me, checking this one out, I opened the box, checked out the decals and everything, because that's the first thing I wanted to know, was the decals and all of the parts in the kit. Now, all of the GT350Rs have the bigger rear tires and the staggered sizes, the same tires that are in this kit. But this particular version doesn't. It's got all 4 of the small ones that are used in the stock ones. So I was a little surprised about that, but I have the tires. But the more I think about it, I think the race cars actually had the same size all the way around. I'm not 100% sure on that. But like I said, that's kind of the fun thing to look at when you get into specific cars and specific history. So, and I love these kits. I built a ton of them. You've seen a number of them on the channel, and I got a whole bunch of them. But I am kind of interested in this one, and it's actually labeled as 66. I took the blue one and made it a 66. But that was a nice little surprise from Mark at Hobby Nut Models, which was great. And a birthday present, because it literally showed up the day I was celebrating my birthday with my friends. So it's kind of nice getting it at the time. But he didn't know that it was my birthday, but that was pretty cool. So, of course, I told him and he thanked me on it. Now, the last two have a lot to do with that Lamborghini book. Here's another Countach. I've got a bunch of the Fujimi Countaches, probably like 10 of them. I'm not sure. I'd have to count. As you know, being a kid of the 80s, I loved this car. Now, this particular one, this is the Aoshima, and it's the injected version. I didn't really know this kit actually existed. I was just looking at all the different versions and what was available and who had them. So this one was an eBay score, but it is the injected US version, so it has that engine and that engine cover, which none of the Fujimi kits have. And I just wanted to have this version because I like having the different versions of them and being such a fan of the car. But when I got this box open and started looking it over, it actually has both engines. It has the downdraft engine and all those parts along with it. There's 2 wings in here. It's got the different side skirts. So if you like the hugger ones or you like these scooped ones, it's got 2 or 3 versions of them in there. Only the 1 set of wheels. But looking forward to doing this one. But I've got other started Countaches as well. Or Countach, however you want to say it. I've said Countach for years. Many people said Countach, but I understand in some of the videos that it's actually pronounced Countach. But I don't know. That's up for debate. I kind of like debates like that, but I've been saying it that way for years, and it'd be really hard for me to change, if in fact that's true. And then the last one, same kind of thing. Another Lamborghini. And I went to my friends in Tucson. We all went down there and hung out. And there's a hobby shop down there, hobby shop at Ace Hardware in Tucson, which is a really nice shop. Been there a couple of times, but it's quite a drive for me. A good 2.5 hour drive from my house. But with the Andes and everybody else around. And I've seen this online. I was kind of eyeballing it as it was one of the last versions of a street Diablo, the GT in this latest thing. I think officially this is a 1999. Yeah, it's a 1999 Diablo, but it's the last incarnation of it. So I was kind of wanting this kit, and since they had it in stock there, and I, didn't want to leave empty-handed, so I ended up buying this kit. So that's where this one came from. So out of all of these, and it's kind of a gift to myself as well. So 2 of them I flat out bought myself. The rest of them came from Hobby Nut Models, which is a big supporter of the channel, and also some other YouTube channels as well, which is really cool of Mark for that. And I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys too. So again, he's in the link in the video description below and everything. So you guys, I'm gonna put these away and try not to start any of them because that's always a big issue. But I do have some thoughts and some ones I really want to read into, but I'll probably get more into those other books and the Chevys and the SSs, and that may affect the outcome of some of my interests, as that's how this hobby goes. But anyway, thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments. I really do appreciate it, you guys, and you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next Saturday.